right, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue with our day, have you guys been having fun today? Awesome. That is great to see from all of you people. I've had the chance to talk with a couple of you, actually hear the joy, the laughter that's been going on. Really cool games, I have to say, and I'm pretty happy that we've got a large variety of different types of video games here on display. And to talk about video games in general and things regarding the topic, we have a couple of speakers. So before I introduce our first speaker, you may continue to do as you were, but you may also take a seat and also come to listen what our speakers have to say, as these are some of our judges and a couple other special guests as well tuning in. So do feel free to tune in to listen what they have on their minds. As our competition is still open until near 5 p.m., a bit earlier than that, we're going to be closing our stalls. And at 5 p.m. we have the prize ceremony on who actually wins this Bit1 Finals competition. So do stay tuned until that, because after 5 p.m. with the prizes, after that the day is done. Well, without further ado, do continue to do as you were, or come listen to Jaakko Kemppainen.
Hello, hello. And now we check if I can use this modern technology. No. There. Yes, now I can use it. Thank you. All right, so I have a short talk about games, art and business, kind of a love triangle. And my name is Jaakko Kemppainen, and I work as a regional artist of games as an art form, which means I basically try to promote games as an art per se, not just the visual side, but also all the other sides the games have, and what kinds of meanings games could have in our lives. I have been working with games for about 20 years now as a programmer, designer, and a lot of different things. And I also have written a couple of books about game design, and the new one is called 100 Game Ideas, and it contains 100 game ideas free to exploit. But this games, art and business love triangle. Of course, what does it mean? We usually think about, we have to have kind of definitions, like what is a game, what is art, and also what is business. The business side might be like the easiest one, but also the, you can problematize it, make it difficult to understand if you want. We probably all know, like, or have a feeling of what are games. We have seen a lot of games here. We also have seen a lot of game-like things, and something that is kind of artistic, but I don't know if it's a game. Maybe there is some kind of level of agency what decides, like, is this a game or is it not a game? Also, what is art? That's an eternal question. I don't know. I should know. I'm not like regional artist, but maybe it has something to do with the meanings, not just audiovisuals, but also like what it says to you, what it makes us feel. And about business, there's a difference between getting rich and getting along. And that's something you should think about when you are making games, when you are going to industry. Think about that. Do you want to get rich? Do you want to get along? Do you want to like pay your bills and have fun and make something important? Or do you try to like make millions and millions of euros? There's a difference in the mindset. I don't know. Let's think about like games as an art form. I have a couple of examples like which can like frame this question a bit. This is a very early version of Angry Birds, maybe the first one, maybe a bit modernized. And you can see there are like houses where the pigs live, and there's a story in this this screen already. This is more than just a puzzle game, or more than just like an action game where you try to destroy everything. It has some meanings. You are actually like attacking the pigs there. You are going for your, I think you try to like rescue your eggs, but there is something behind that. And only through the like level design you can already tell a story. This is like Angry Birds 2, and the levels are more or less generated. It is more beautiful, it has fancier graphics, it has bigger production values, but I couldn't find the meaning of this game because the levels are more or less randomly generated. It also means when you come back to the level, it's a different level. You can't have like favorite levels and play them again because they are not the same and they don't have these stories built in there. So this is like, this probably makes more money than the first one and it's more pretty, but I don't have this feeling of like meaning. So here, both are games, they are great games. I don't know which one is more artistic, maybe the last one is more business-wise. But when looking at the games that we can find in stores currently, here is an example, Baba Is You. Wonderful game, definitely made as a wonderful game. I think the guy who made this was not thinking about, yes, I'm going to get rich with this. He was not thinking about, this is great art, I'm going to like tell people something about the world. So this is like very gamey game. But when you play it and then you start to think about it, then you can find there some like deeper meanings, and then you get too deep and you lose your mind, and then you have to have a vacation. Another game, The Witness. How many of you have played this? Okay. It's a wonderful game, beautiful puzzles that kind of evolve. There's like one thing, one basic puzzle thing that evolves through the game, and there are like 400 variations of the same theme there, gameplay theme. But this game also tells us something about universe, us as human beings. It doesn't say it straight, it just gives you hints, and you try to like figure out what the hell is this trying to say. But maybe a bit more going to the business side, definitely quite artistic and quite a lot of game. What about this? Do you know? My Summer Car, wonderful. Made kind of just for fun, but it tells a lot about life in the like small village in Finland back in the 90s. I did that. I grew up in a small village in Finland back in the 90s, and I totally relate a lot of things in this game. So this is kind of thing that tells very personal stories, touches personal issues, tells us something about. It's almost documentary game. And as such, it's maybe it's like itse art or itse tehty elämä, outsider art thing. Let's go to the deep end of the game-like art. This Catacombs of Solaris Revisited. Doesn't it look beautiful? It's a game. Or maybe it's an art piece where you use the like typical first-person shooter controllers and navigate a maze, which actually changes when you go close to the wall and looks around. It actually like changes, and it feels like it opens the new dimensions. You go between the dimensions in the game. You lose yourself. You are not in the like real 3D world anymore, you are in 5D world or somewhere. There is no goal in the game. You just like travel around there. But the feeling of going around, you feel like you are playing a game. But I don't know if this is a game, this is art. Definitely this is not a business. I paid €2 for this, and maybe someone else has paid, but I'm a bit different. Yes. I think everybody should know this. Noita. Wonderful game, one of the best games from Finland for a long time. If you look it from outside of the gamer culture, it looks pretty nonsense. It doesn't make any sense. You just like it's almost like Dadaistic animation. But from the gamer culture, when you look at it as a gamer, it looks something different, and it makes you act differently, and it changes the way you actually perceive life and games. So I think there is like a lot of artistic value in here. And then of course, the games, art and business, they are not like separate things. I think this game is quite wonderful example of game that has a lot of artistic value. It's a beautiful game. It has a lot of meanings, but it also made a lot of money. So they are not exclusive. And yeah, let's go here. This is something interesting. When you think about this like love triangle, these three things, games, art and business, they kind of like overlap each others, and they are games that are very gamey but not at all artistic, and also games that are quite business heavy, maybe not even gamey or artistic. And then there is like this beautiful triangle in the center where are the games that are artistic, business-wise interesting, and also very gamey. And if we put those previous example in here, this is my interpretation of the thing. It's like there are possibilities all around here for making games, also for making living out of games. Maybe the question is like, why are we doing these things? Are we doing games as games? I know a lot of you just like, we just want to make good games. I don't care about if it makes any money, or I don't think about art at all. I don't care about meanings. I just want to make games that are fun for me, and that's great. Also, there are people who are like, yes, I want to make some crazy, I don't know, thing, artistic thing. I don't care about business. And then there are people who are trying to make millions, don't care about like how good it is as a game, or does it have everlasting classic artistic value. If you can find this like kind of combination of these three, then it's excellence, and there is something that lasts forever. And people, after 20, 30 years, people come to your game, they are still willing to play it, they talk about your game. If you have a good gameplay, if you have something deeper to say, and also it has to sell a bit so people actually can find it and play it and they have this experience. So my thesis here is that business and art are not exclusive. Having strong artistic touch doesn't destroy the business. It might even make it better. It might make it last longer. There's a wonderful video of this like Terminator 2 and the Forgotten Art of blockbuster cinema, where Mike Hill digs through Terminator 2 and goes deep into like all the meanings of the film. And you can learn a lot about making games by watching that video. I would say entertainment helps us to forget, art helps us to remember. And this is something we want to have. This is like games that are both art, business, and good games. I still have a minute. Thank you.